And you can see I still got my boxes ready for me to make some serious work here. And I was even like, you know, you don't need to measure or anything like that. I'm just like really ready. What's my boss saying? What's boss saying? I hope you enjoyed that. Great interview. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. There's few more interviews coming up. One with Samantha Hudson from Derby, and one with what's her name? I can't remember the name. Shells or something from Bahamas. She does the marketing element of it and exposure and how they market this culture. So you're going to hear more about that. And I think we made it on purpose, and I'm not going to hide and pretend. We made it on purpose that we're starting at 2. We didn't say what time we're finishing, because originally we would finish at 6, and then after that we'd also be finishing at 4. Last time it was 4 o'clock. So today I'm generous, and also my technician, volunteer technician George, I don't know where he is. I don't know if I can show him. He's happy to work with me whatever times I want. So na 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 na. Now, Carnival happens everywhere. I'm personally, I mean, most people, I think somebody just said to me, I didn't say who I am. I'm sure there's somewhere where it's written who I am. My name is Pax Nindi. I'm the director for Global Carnivals. Global Carnivals is the organization that is sponsoring this. It's the one that's making this happen, and I'm the chief executive there. Now, in England, we got so many different carnivals. So every time I do Junkanew, I'm going to be showing different things that I know is using recycled material, or they're not using big, massive motorized things. So Chris and Frank watch, Paul Shedmakers watch, Clary from Mahogan watch, Charles from Mandinga watch, Townsend from Kinetica watch, Caroline from Kinetica watch, Christopher from Continental Drifts watch. This is Bestival. I hope we're going to have it in future, right? So here we go. Alright, we'll see you later. Environment. Yeah, there's Frankie from New Carnival Company, Chris and Frankie. This is Chris and Frankie. This is Frankie. But every time you see one of them, people will say, hello, Chris and Frankie. No, it's just one Chris, one Frankie. And that is Frankie there. And imagine. I'm sure my boss is enjoying herself. Cheryl, you're loving this, yeah? I don't know if you are there, though. So it's the New Carnival Company. Victoria, welcome. You joined us. Welcome. Next time we'll be featuring your work. Now, I don't know, I mean, the tractor thing always like freaks me out, but then this is Bestival, so much mud in there, so if you start bringing your little go-kart, I think you'll be stuck or whatever. So I think that's what's happening. But the interesting thing for me is those recycled material being used.
That's okay. Amazing Carnival Queen!
Kalam, Mr. DJ Kalam, I hope you are watching. Very good DJ here, Latin America, and he does all sorts of things.
First of all, we've been sent by Rockabang to give you all a big morning kiss and tell you to get more face paint on.
Yeah, I think that was the end of Festival. Now I'm going to show you Kinetica Bloco, because they are one of our partners, and also they are dealing with Blocos Samba.
This was going to be our 20th anniversary birthday party. So we had lots of plans to do everything kind of bigger, more large scale than what we normally do. And obviously that all had to change come March when coronavirus hit. We had everything cancelled, all our performances cancelled. Yeah, we thought it was really important to continue working and not just to kind of shut down at this time. So we just did an initial questionnaire with our young people and kind of chats with them to find out what they wanted. If we were gonna, we automatically thought, okay, let's do everything online, and we decided to focus on sessions where they could play together. So they really enjoyed the fact that they could just all kind of be on a call and learn a tune together and then play it and have that social interaction at the same time as making music, which is what we think is, you know, the important thing about making music together.
We've been doing Zoom classes, just trying to teach them the music independently, just, you know, learning by ear and by the paper. It's hard, it's hard in that way, but we're there. Okay. So we're in B flat, but we're in B flat, but we start in G minor.
Having Blocko in the background has made it easier. It fills out the empty gaps. It takes them away from their own personal social media. But it also helps them to develop musically as well as socially, but also to help them to plan what's ahead of them as well.
A great bass line that, you know, that doesn't even have any of these, but it's just about the note choice is this. You guys will know it. That's just sauce.
All of these things are part of you growing to become a musician.
Halfway through the chorus, I drop some of the elements out. Yeah, so just have a listen, and then, yeah.
The online Zoom calls are really helpful because they can keep connection with everyone that's normally part of their summer school and everywhere that you go. They've also done like just little meetups, like even here now. So yeah, it's kind of just felt normal.
I've been doing the Zoom calls online, and then this week I've been doing the dance sessions and being able to interact with other people that I wouldn't usually be able to in summer school. I think that's quite of a bonus. It has been good to see familiar faces rather than the two that I see in the house all the time.
Being stuck inside for 3 months is like torture, to be fair, and just being able to play music kind of uplifted my spirits.
We've been doing online activity since April, and then when the government said that we were allowed to do outside activity, we just really wanted to make that happen. We thought it was really important to provide that face-to-face activity because I think young people have been really affected by this. You know, they've had school has stopped, their education, all their creative activities have stopped, they haven't been able to see friends. So we thought it was really important to kind of try and get them out of the house and help with their mental well-being.
Performance was nice, for the most part. It's been the same.
It was really fun. It was just like a normal performance that we do for Connecticut. You still get the same vibe and still atmosphere from everyone.
I really enjoyed it because especially I wasn't playing in it, so it was nice to see like a different angle.
My hope for Blocko is that everybody stays safe, and then, you know, as soon as we're able to start going out again, then we'll do that.
Things to go back to normal. Connecticut to be running like gigs every month.
I just hope for a better world and that we're all playing music again together as a big family.
Yeah, that was Kinetica Blocko, who are the partners in this. There's a few partners here. And then while we are... Yes, so now we're going to do a musical journey into the Afro Blockos in Brazil, from Brazil in Brazil. And there's different ones. I think this particular program is going to show you quite a lot of the different Blockos that are around. So, and that's the sort of music that's really also good for, apart from the steel pan and other things, the Blocko music is what's going to make Junkanew work. If we are going to have the time in a year or two when we can go in the streets, I would say Blockos is one of the music that would work because no amplification, we just keep on going as we go along. Sorry, Jane, I missed your comments when the video was playing. Yeah, so you were in Festival. How did you know that? I didn't see you. Okay, so now we're going to give you the Blockos.
A historinha do Carnaval. Então os blocos, no começo, o entrudo é aquela, uma semana antes da Semana Santa, você podia ir à rua, carnavale, carnavarem, quer dizer carne. Você podia brincar um pouco, se extravasar antes da quaresma. Então o carnaval vem disso, você ir à rua uma semana antes da Semana Santa, é uma cultura europeia, o entrudo.
Então, primeiro foi uma...
que surgiu foi Léa.
Foi 74.
Por aí eu vi quando eles vinham de lá. Coisa de ferro. Homenageando a África, com roupas mais africanas, com um ritmo mais lento, tocando uma levada que já vinha de nossas escolas de samba, como uma baqueta no repique, o surdo fazendo
o ritmo do Ilhéié tem uma influência do samba.
Da escola de samba. Foi mais parecido com aquilo que eu estava falando. A escola de samba, bloco de índio, bloco afro. Agora
that's why I come believe
Daí, a nível de percussão, a nível de samba reggae, eu costumo dizer que o samba reggae, todos os blocos afro teve o momento de ser criador do samba reggae. Tanto o Olodum, com o mestre Neguinho, o mestre Jackson, quanto o Malê de Balé com o mestre Senac, né, quanto o Leaie com o mestre Walter, né, quanto a Muzenda com Jorge Gangazum e Gari Jamaica. Todo mundo tem a sua batida, né, diferenciada, onde o Olodum vem com essa batida, né, uma clave, com uma mistura de salsa, com aquele... Os caras revolucionários. O Muzenza veio com a batida dele também, do samba, que a maioria dos blocos afro veio da escola de samba. Se você receber, você vê que é o repique de paraca, né? O Muzenza, se você reparar os discos, as músicas, é essa pegada, mas nós diferenciamos, nós botamos um funk, nós botamos um reggae em cima dessa batida. Então eu não vejo assim, dizendo assim, eu sou o criador do samba reggae. Não, se eu falar isso, eu estou mentindo. Eu sou fundador do cortejo afro.
Sim?
Eu sou o primeiro mestre do cortejo afro. Justamente nessa saída do Muzenza, Pita me abraçou. Que é uma ideia nossa. Era a ideia de mim, de Raimundo Mário, que era o mestre de capoeira, fazer um cortejo para a gente brincar com os funcionários do Projeto Axé na lavagem do Bonfim.
Olha a Ave Maria! Olha a Tete!
Yeah, so those were the blocos in Brazil and in different parts of Brazil, from Peralino up by here and everywhere. And so I hope that was inspiring in terms of those who do music. And now I'm going to go to my colleague Sam Hudson from up in East Midlands. I hope Donna, you're watching, and also Ginger and all the people from that side of the Caris and everybody. This is an interview with Sam, who actually went to the Bahamas. She also went to the Bahamas, then she went to Ghana as well. So she's got both worlds that we are working with. So I thought it was quite interesting to chat with her and see her vibes and also what she got out of it. And also some of the stuff we're doing, really, I think, whether we like it or not, we can't deny that we are living in a really weird world. So one of the reasons for the Junkanew is that we are doing virtually is to allow anybody who's at home to create something. If you are just by yourself, we try to be with you. I'm actually in your living room now. And if you're a lot of people, then yes, you can sit down and get some of this cardboard here and make some things. And it's not only cardboard anyway. You can also use, the cloth material. You can use any of these old recycled things. You can also use old strings and so to make an old instrument, to make some instruments and so on. So that's what Junkanew is all about. There's so much stuff really that thing we are very interested in. And also Claudia from Kinetic, if you're watching, we just done that. That was really brilliant. And also Christopher, Christopher, where are you today? I can't see you. I'm wearing your hat. So anyway, so I'm going to move now to the interview with Sam Carnival. And then after that I'm going to give you a workshop on how to make a giant Lego giant using cardboard. So that's going to be after that. And then we still got some more interviews. We got interview with Deb Mullins about sustainability, recycling. And then we got a lot of videos, other videos and clips to show you. So we go to Samantha Carnival. Today, we are going to be chatting with a lady. No, she used to say I inspire her, but at the reality of it, I think she inspires me. Every time I hear everything she does, it's one step up, one step up, one step up. Things like that inspire me. So I've seen her for years being the Carnival queen. And when I'm going around the country judging, especially East Midlands, Samantha would always be the winner to a point where it started getting a bit boring for me, really. And I said, no, if you say I'm not going to judge her, she's just winning. She's going to win. She's going to win.
Don't listen to him.
Anyway, Samantha Hudson, over to you. Introduce yourself in terms of just like where you come up on the East Midlands and your experience with Carnival.
Hi, thank you, Pat. I'm Sam Carnival. I'm Derby born and bred. I am a volunteer for the Derby Caribbean Carnival, the official organisers of Derby Caribbean Carnival, which is the West Indian Centre, and I support the management team, and I'm also the troop lead for Cultural Roots Carnival Troop. That's the official troop for Derby.
Junkanew.
Mm.
As you can see, the spelling is different from the Caribbean Junkanew. Now, you know yourself anyway, because you've been in Bahamas, that the Junkanew tradition is similar to the one in Ghana. I don't think you experienced the Winneba fancy dress, but it's similar. The only difference is that I think they all use cardboard, they all use recycled material, they all use sticks, they all use paint and glue and all that. The only difference is the one in the Bahamas, they create banners. Those banners become massive floats like the Brazilian type of floats. In Africa, they don't do that yet. So our idea is this is a collaboration. So we got the Ghanabia, Winneba people, and then we've got the Bahamas people, then we've got English people. Oh, you look frozen. You're there.
I'm here. It's just that you was breaking up a little bit. You was breaking up.
Oh, that's worrying.
But I've been involved in Carnival for about 35 years, maybe longer.
Mm-hmm. You said you're grown up in a Carnival family. You know, that could have been a Blocos, that could have been Samba. So I need to get a bit more like really, what sort of Carnival were you doing? Is it the Trini style? Is it the Brazilian? Is it the Blocos? Things like that.
It's the West Indian Caribbean Carnival. So I was started from 1975, way before I was born. And what they did was they started having Carnival in Derby to help with the race relations with the local community and the police. And then it started to grow and get bigger from that. So basically it's about bringing the community together and connecting them back to their roots of the Caribbean. So all the festivals that they used to have back home, they brought it over here into England as well. And that's what I incorporated also in my Carnival Man Behind a Mask 2019 exhibition, honouring those from the Caribbean who migrated to England and made the streets colourful with all their costumes, but who makes them? So that's why I showcase the designers. So yeah, we've made a massive difference on British society.
Ah, brilliant. So the reason I was talking about the different variations of Carnival and all that kind of stuff, it's because I know you've done the stuff that sometimes annoys me, which is really like dancing with a big, massive float behind with a big, massive kilowatts and kilowatts of sound. This Junkanew we are doing,
yes,
there's no motors there. We will create the music. So we use the way they do it in Bahamas, where they do rack and scrap. We're going to have that in the procession.
Yes, yeah, rake and scrape. Yeah, rake and scrape.
And then we're going to work with Kinetica Bloco. Then we have some sort of Bloco percussive stuff in there. Then we're going to work with Nostalgia Band, Pan on the Neck. So we got that. So the music floated down. So I don't want anybody to say, yeah, I need a big float and so on. I just had a conversation with Soca Massive, whom I say, it took me a while because he's saying to me, why didn't you invite me to be part of Junkanew? So I had to chat with him like, really. I was scared because Soca Massive are well known for doing some seriously loud soca music. Loud in a nice way, not loud like in annoying. Yeah. So this is this. So my question is leading to that now that you've had that sort of, you've been accustomed to that, because that's why I was saying to you, grew up with Carnival. Which style of Carnival? So if you grew up with the Trini style Carnival, which means every day, every time there's Carnival, we are hearing a lot of loud sounds and so on. So I just want to find out from you how you felt when you now go to Bahamas, where the tradition is slightly different.
No, not at all, because every carnival you go to is different. Do you know what I mean? And when we went to the Bahamas, because I went in 2018 and 2019, it's just how they just bring everything together, and it's different. So, for example, in the Caribbean, we have steel pan, but over there, they actually carry them. They actually carry the drums, and they're really, really strong. And just to see how they use the exact same instrument, but in a different format, and a lot of the brass instruments as well. That was really powerful. I've not seen that like that before in that format. Okay, and they just really make the costumes to suit the instruments as well. And what I've noticed is the smaller the instruments, the bigger the costumes. The bigger the instruments, the smaller the costumes. So that's one of the things I noticed as well. And the banners was just like another float. So to have the strong men carrying like a large little flat on their shoulders, few steps, put it down, lift it up, few steps, put it down, lift it up. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. It's a really labour of love. That's exactly one of the things what will stick with me, what Angelique said. It is a labour of love because it's not easy at all, but it's beautiful what they produce.
What did you think you picked up by being in Bahamas?
What I picked up from Bahamas is just that the way they made the costume, because I've always heard about Junkanew growing up being a Caribbean family anyway. But to actually see it and actually connect to what your grandparents and family was talking about, it starts to put that jigsaw together. So it's really useful to be reconnected with your culture in that aspect as well. But one of the things I did pick up from that was just the way they use the crepe paper. Because when I was in Africa, they use crepe paper for toilet paper. But in the Bahamas, they use it for making costumes. So, you know, that was quite interesting to see. But I just thought that the way they used all the cardboard and how they manipulated the cardboard, that was the biggest thing for me. I was really, really impressed, but also how they sliced the crepe paper and made all these layers and layers and layers and layers and layers to keep that the surface pattern going. It was just amazing, and just the magnitude and the size of the actual costumes. I've never come across something like that before. So that was one of the biggest things for me. Just the scale of the costumes was really good.
When the Junkanew came to England first time,
so I hope it's not that bad.
We took them to Brighton. And they were working there with some artists. The thing is,
and you know, we have to walk down the streets with our cable ties, with our duct tape, just to piece people together that are falling apart along the road, just to make sure we meet the finish line. So yeah, they are our lifesavers. You know about cable ties when it comes down to Carnival.
Yes, and once you've done your when you came back to UK, did you incorporate any of the stuff you learned there here, or it becomes very difficult in that, you know, this environment is different, the weather is different and all that?
No, yes, we did actually. Yeah, we definitely looked into recycling. And one of our young troop leaders, which is Nia Stevenson, he's also our youth designer, our youth lead designer, and also our current Derby Caribbean King and the M-Pan King as well. He actually made a Junkanew style headpiece from using recycled items around the house. Now, as a follow-on from the trip from the Bahamas, I also attended with Nesrin, we attended Germany Carnival, and we went to 4 different carnivals within Germany, and it was amazing to see how they used recycled things as well. So they made their costumes and their floats and using paper mache as well. So you can start to see some similarities, but that was more of a European British style costume. So that was more of a European style carnival, obviously from Germany. But it was interesting to see how they used just different aspects together.
You know, when you guys went to the Bahamas, I know it's not only you who went from the East Midlands. There were also Donna, there was also Ginger and other people. What I'm just saying is those 2 years that you've been there, and also when these guys went, is there anything in the East Midlands which if I watch the carnival, I could say, these guys have been somewhere else. Look, something has changed.
Yes, you will see some Junkanew elements, most definitely, in the work that we do, and also what Nottingham do as well. But you'll also see it with Leeds as well, because they're also having a Junkanew twist on some of their costume making as well.
But the last thing is just like, really, how was your trip in Ghana, and did you manage to link up with anybody to do with Carnival? Because I know you went there for a different business.
Well, yes, I did. I actually went there for Carnival, and it was also part of the Year of Return. So 400 years when the last transatlantic slave ship left Africa to go to the Americas, the Caribbean, and Europe and England. So with the Year of Return for 2019 and continuing to 2020, Africa is calling back all its children across the globe to come back that are descendants from the African Caribbean slave trade. And I went there for that, and I met with, and I had meetings with senior lecturers at the University of Ghana with African Studies and also Performing Arts and Culture. Then, so I just think it's amazing what you're doing. You inspire people like me, so just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Yeah, I think, have you got anything else you want to say about this partnership, about what we are doing, the Junkanew and anything like that?
I think keep doing what you're doing and just keep bringing it out there to the world. It's not confined to, you know, one set of people. It's about understanding different cultures, what's happening, and also exploring our cultural heritage. And it's all about recycling right now. It's a really serious time. This whole global warming thing is very, very serious. The world is getting overpopulated. There's about 7.7 billion people and expanding. So we need to start looking at how we can start to be more resourceful in what we're doing and not being so wasteful. So it's getting quite serious. So the world needs stuff like Junkanew, which we've been doing for years, but it's a new concept for people now, but it's not. And you'll find that there's always a reincarnation of the old, turning the old into new. Go back to the old days, you know, in making things, because what you'll find is that people always like run for funding to try and get money to make things, to make them more bigger, elaborate, better. But sometimes less is more. Less is more, you know, and to make beautiful things. What we saw in the Bahamas was just absolutely incredible. It really, really is. So yeah, just really, really, I like to just keep inspiring people to be creative. Don't stop dreaming, don't stop drawing, don't stop creating, keep going. Just keep going, and definitely invest in the next generation, because they're our future. We've got to learn from the older generation, pass it on to the new. Keep going.
Well said, Samantha. Yes, let's pass to the young generation. We, the old people, the young people are going to be the ones who run the world. And old people like us and all the Trumps of today and so on, you know, we need to pass things there. We are going to be gone very soon. So that's why we need to take care of the environment. We have to really be serious about the environment. So anyway, in terms of what we are doing with the arts, this is our playing. We're playing our part here. Sue Russell, yes, recycling is and has been the way forward forever. Now, in my conversation here, Samantha, I mentioned rake and scrap. Rake and scrap is this, I showed it the first time we broadcast here. Rake and scrap is the sort of musical tradition they've got in the Bahamas. And let me see if I can find it. I'm going to find it for you. Yeah. So I've got a gentleman who just shows you what it is you get, they play the drums and so on, but you also got the saw, you know, the hacksaw. You go, ooh, we can play with that. So I'm just going to show you a gentleman who's going to show you how you use that. Yeah. So this is it. Like, look at that. Wrecking and wrecking and wrecking. Then after that, I'm also going to show you the Brazilian instrument. You know, they go, it's called a quicker. So I'll show you that after the wreck. So here we go. We're scrapping here for real.
Okay, if you want to do the rake and scrape, you must have your saw. And if you don't have a screwdriver, you can use a butter knife.
Did you hear that? So you need a saw and a butter knife. A saw and a butter knife. That's all. Then you can play all the music you want. So listen, check him, how you have to play this.
Saw. And if you don't have a screwdriver, you can use a butter knife. Actually, I don't have my screwdriver with me, so I'm using a butter knife, all right? And if you can pull the saw out, you can get a sound from that, all right? And if you bend it, you get a different sound, you know? And then you must hold your scraper up and down and give you a different rhythm, okay?
You get that? Rack and scrap. That is it. So now I'm going to show you the quicker in Brazil. Again, just simple instruments, right? They put a stick in the drum there. That was the Quicker, the Quicker from Brazil. Now what are we going to do? We're going to now move, and because some of you wanted me to show you again how to make this massive giant. So now get ready, get your stuff here, because we are going to make a giant. We are going to make a massive giant, right? A massive giant. You see, I've got all my paperwork ready here. Everything is ready to go. So get ready to make a massive, massive giant. And again, if there's anything you want to see that we talk about, just send it to us. If you've got a group that's making some very exciting work and you want to link up with anybody, we are here. We can join you up. We can link up with anybody anywhere in the world. There's some guy from Mexico who wanted to link up with somebody in Luton somehow. And yes, we can do all that. So it's just like really keep watching, and also keep sending us anything that you think will be interesting for other viewers to see. Remember, there's a lot of people stuck at home with nothing to do, and some of them, this will be really brilliant for them. So yes, so now you want to make a massive giant, giant thing. Here we go. It's over to you. Bye-bye, robot. I hope that's useful for any of you who want to make giant things, yeah? Yes, my sister there's approved it. Wow, yeah. So all that is just cardboard really, and I've been trying to do here, I just tried to make something with my my cardboards, and I haven't gone that far. I was going to show you what I'm doing, but I can't, never mind. Let's see. Oh, yes. Okay, anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do an interview with Deb Mullins. Deb Mullins is from Emergence Exit. She's a champion when it comes to sustainability and looking after the environment. There's other places as well, like this carnival that I'm involved in Oxford. That's what they specialize in. Everything we do there is just recycled. As you can see, they actually made some effort. They're making something. And there's also like really, we're talking about lanterns and paper mache and so on. That's what happened. So anyway, there's other things, a lot of things here that you see. That's Helen. And then that's the stuff that was recycled again, but that was part of people who submitted something. And that is also strictly cardboard and lots of color, as you can see. And everything here, and music, yes, none of the metalized or whatever you call it music. Is just percussion, that is kinetica blocko, percussion again, brass. We do use a lot of brass. And brass, this is in Ghana, marching band in the masquerade, fancy dress masquerade, fancy dress masquerade. Hold on, is that fancy dress? No, this is another one of our partners, which is Nostalgia Still Band. Yeah, that's some of the programs we do when we're doing Collie Road Carnival. And that is the director who's on holiday now, and she makes lanterns. She's explaining lanterns there. And this is one of our Collie Road Carnival. Manuela Benini there. She's running a workshop for these young people. In the carnival, we take part of the church and then we use that, and this was to do with the moon and how the environment works. Junkanew again, and that was in Nice. Hey, where are you? Where are you? That is Angelic and the Sun, and the Junk, and the Junk, and the Junk. So I just want to show you. So a costume like this is UCOM in they took part in Hackney Carnival. Hackney is one of our partners. And when people look at a costume like this, they just think, all I need is feather, then I can do it. But that also could be, I don't think that was cardboard, but all that could be made with cardboard, including the feathers, because the feathers can be made using this and that and so on. These are the sound system that we use in Hull. Hull is a carnival where I do this carnival called Hull International Carnival. We don't use anything at all. I'm going to show you quickly Hull International Carnival. We don't use any sound systems or anything like that. The sound system is done with this through Owen. Owen, I hope you're watching this. We do this through Owen, and then we have 12 of these, and then we play music. I'll just quickly show you Hull International Carnival. Nothing, there's no big sound system, everything. Most of the stuff we use, that board there was made, we had the Junkanew, oh, where am I though? You can't see me, Carnival, let me find myself. Aha. So it was supposed to be the banner, you know, like the banner they are using in the Bahamas. We got the Junkanew to come in Hull, and they ran a workshop there, and then they got the local people to create this star. So that's what we ended up having, at one that leads the procession. And there you go. We're setting up the sound system now. So that the procession can happen. As you can see, everything there. So anyone who's going to do the DJ, like we had Scrappy, he had to hold his iPad and then play the music from there. And we also had the stool band. We had Leeds Carnival. They've got a stool band there called Arthur, help me, I can't remember the name of your stool band. I can't remember. Anyway, they also play. So they set up in front of the town hall, and then we just think. So no amplification again, no PA system.
Carnival is going to be going on for many, many years to come. It adds more vibrance to the city, more for people to see, and more for people to enjoy. That's enough from me. I'm now going to cut the ribbon. Thank you.
So that was the mayor introducing the carnival, but also really giving us a blessing that what we do with the carnival, it actually brings more people into that place. Some of you know how it's Hull, and some of you don't. You can Google it anyway, but it's sort of quite compared to London and big cities. And he's saying, you know, the carnival brings, but what it is, that carnival also brings the different cultures.
Giving you some real good Caribbean vibes.
So that Scrappy there, we invited him to come. He's one of UK's big soccer stars. We invited him to come and play, and he wanted a big sound system. I'm like, no, that's what I have to work with. So he worked with that, and it worked really well, and everybody was happy. As you can see, the audience.
What is everybody representing Barbados, St. Lucia, Dominica, Jamaica?
And that is Rampage. That was the biggest band, Rampage. They are the ones who got most costumes that are already made. But the rest, the community, they made all their costumes together. And Rampage comes and spice up and inspired the local people to make stuff. We have all different communities. That's the Somalian group. Then we also have the Irish group. Then we go to Congolese. Then we go to Sudanese. And everything, as you can see, is nothing that will damage the environment. Everything is recycled, everything. That's what we're encouraging. And when it comes to the theater part of it, there you go, you didn't have any profit, just to be suitcase. And everything went very well. There is IOTA Little Giants, our man there, and then Hindu Association, also take part then we end up with sort of like a party thing 3 years ago, and now we end up in a bigger space. This was just like but now it's sort of the Carnival itself is getting bigger. All these banners are made working with the Junkanew when they came and help us show us how to do things. I thought this was the first year of the Harley International Carnival. We even had the church and everybody involved. So that is Harley International Carnival. Now I'm going to go to Deb Mullins, who's going to talk about sustainability. So what we've done is we decided that lanterns will be part of Junkanew. So I played part of this interview on the last one. So this is the second part. This is part 2. That's why we're speaking to you, because I know for years we've been going on with the lanterns.
Yes. I suppose sometimes we've called them night carnivals. And certainly for many, many years when we worked with the Thames Festival, we did night carnivals that involved lots of carnival bands. For many people that had been at Notting Hill earlier in the month would then turn up in September to the Thames Festival, and we would have a whole mixture of carnival costumes and illuminated puppets and all sorts of things. As long as they had lights on them or lights in them, it was called a night carnival, and it was fabulous. And hundreds of people joined in with that, and I think many thousands watched it pass over the bridges of the River Thames.
So yeah. I'm hoping it's same thing with what we are doing with Junkanew, where it's just like really, you want to make a drum, come and make a drum. It's like, oh, no, I can't do it because Pax is there. No, you can make a drum. It's just straightforward like that and things like that.
Exactly, yes. I mean, you can also make lanterns out of found objects and discarded materials. I've seen some lovely ones made out of plastic bottles, plastic milk bottles, or you can do them out of metal and punch holes in them. So there's lots of ways of making lanterns as long as the light can shine through it.
Yeah.
And I know there's a very big movement, and has been for long time, many decades, making things out of the stuff that we throw away. We once did a very big parade where we talked about making everyday rubbish into something that was beautiful. But it does take a lot of skill to make rubbish into something beautiful, and artists need time for experimenting with adapting materials, and also being careful that you don't mix up your recyclables. So it's not a good idea to put plastics with paper and so on and so forth. You don't want it to end up in the landfill. You want it to be part of the recycling. So, all that needs to be thought about in advance while you try and make something beautiful out of scrap, basically. And we've done a lot of carnivals, daytime carnivals, using those materials, often because they're more accessible to people. And that's what I've always been driven by, is getting everybody involved in the making as well as the performing, as well as the taking part. And, if you can demonstrate that you can make something beautiful out of an old milk bottle, plastic container, I mean, it can look a bit rough, but I think with the right kind of demonstration or workshops, people can manage to do something lovely.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's also the other element you mentioned, just like really, which is crucial about doing this kind of work, is the community. It's very, very community oriented. And I think, as you say, apart from actually making sure that you're not using stuff that can work with the environment, there's also an element of the creativity, which could end up being just like a box with a few Christmas things on it, or a box that's very exciting that everybody in the house has put something in it, and it's that. That's what I think is the most exciting thing for me.
Yes, I think, I think everybody has a right to express themselves and to be creative. But I think with a bit of guidance and help, people can do their best. They can learn a skill. And then you can put that together in an artistic way that has an aesthetic to it that is pleasing for everybody, and everybody can be proud of it when they're all marching down the street together, that they've chosen similar colours or themes, or
Yes.
ways of
Yeah, the
that
movement.
makes
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, sorry about that. The sound on that video is very low, but I hope that was interesting. So this is showing you really lantern parade, which imagine they can get involved in the community. Perhaps if you are watching, yes, the sound on the video was very low, so I ended up playing the Junkanew music, which is appropriate, I suppose. And now we are going to have another very inspiring interview with one more person from Junkanew, Bahamas, from the Bahamas. She's from an organization called, I think it's called Cultural Experiences. She's going to talk about how they do look after the Junkanew. But before that, I'm going to go through more people who just make the environment a bit better by the way they do their music. Now, these guys are from America in Chicago. Just check them out, and then after that, I'll take you to the interview chat.
So my name is Glennie Sherman, and I am the Consulting Logistics and IT Manager for Cultural Experience Productions.
So anyways, I'm going to just like talk to you, but in terms of your involvement with the Junkanew commandos, as well as the Junkanew itself, the event, what your involvement are.
Well, my involvement primarily is with Cultural Experience Productions. We are the production company that puts on the Bahamas Art and Music Junkanew Art and Music Festival. We would have held our first event in February of 2019 and our second event in February of 2020. Because of COVID, we've had to postpone the third, because it's an annual event, we've had to postpone the third one, but we are looking toward doing some greater things in the future. The Junkanew Commandos are also a part of Cultural Experience Productions, so we work on them and in executing some of the events that they hold and their trips, putting on their trips.
Okay. So, I mean, in terms of organizing, because it's, these different events are different, even in the Caribbean, the way you organize in Bahamas will be different from Jamaica. What would you say, apart from the COVID itself, but what would you say are the challenges that you meet in terms of organizing these cultural events like this?
So cultural events like this have always met with a little bit of apprehension. But what we have tried to do is to bring the art of Junkanew to the Bahamian public and show them things that they may not normally see on Bay Street. So we were able to produce an art gallery actually of costumes that would have been a part of the 2018-2019 parade, so that persons who aren't Junkanewers at heart and normally are just spectators are actually able to walk up to the costumes, touch and feel the costumes, see those minor details you wouldn't be able to see from just, watching the parade on Bay. That's the type of thing that we wanted to do with this. Now, we were met with, a little bit of apprehension because Junkanew is very passionate for Bahamians. And when it comes to Junkanew, everybody's very territorial. So we hoped, and we continue to hope, that our event brings together the Junkanew community so that everyone can see and appreciate it, and even those spectators come and appreciate it even more. Well, there's always an advantage in international collaborations because, like you said, we all have similar cultural festivals around the world, and there's always some similarities of what you may do compared to what it is that we may do, and it's always a learning opportunity for everybody. So I would say international collaborations like this not only gives your cultural experience, your cultural events exposure, but it gives our event an exposure as well. We'll give you opportunity to learn from each other so that the future and what the future holds for our cultural events will be spectacular for those coming up.
Okay, thank you very
right there.
You don't know his name? Give me his name.
I don't know his name. What is the short dark fella? I know his name. He's a short dark fella in the drummer line.
In the drummer line?
Yeah.
So you beat the drum then?
That's the drummer line.
Shit.